I've got the sweetest solar gear to show you. A 440 watt solar blanket. And if you're someone like me who has mismatched panels that you want to deploy together to charge a single item like this 12-volt battery right here, OptiSolex has you covered. And it's something I've never ever seen before. There's this little silver box right here, the SolexBrick S1. So this allows me to deploy all kinds of different panels, shapes, sizes, etc., and optimize at the panel level their output. It's super cool. Let me show you. Let's unbox this rigid solar panel. Okay, everything's opened up here. Solar panel arrived in perfect condition. First time I've ever seen a solar panel with clipped corners. That's kind of cool. And then this solar panel has half-cut solar cells and 16 bus bars in each of those cells, which is awesome. In addition to the panel, we also got 2 items of documentation, and we also got a really nice baggie of installation hardware. This solar panel is not bifacial, and here are the specs. Can pause and look at those. I do have to comment though, I love the VOC rating on this panel, 26.6 volts. That's ideal to pair 2 of these in series for like portable power stations or whatnot. Let's unbox this next thing from OptiSolex. Oh yeah, look at this. 8 gauge wire with some ring terminals on one side and MC4 connectors on the other. And then we also have some documentation and the OptiSolex Solar Bag 400. I'm so excited about this. Really light and very compact. If we unzip this, we actually have a little more documentation. Then we've got some straps, some carabiners, and we've got one of the points where we can connect to the MC4 connectors. And then on the back side here, we've got another little pouch, and that's where we have another MC4 connector. So what this actually is 2 solar panels in one, and I'll show you how that works when we open it up. So it's a 440 watt kit, and that's made up of 2 220 watt panels. So these are the individual panel specs. These are them combined together, and you can pause to look at all of this. But the main thing I want to emphasize here is the open circuit voltage, combined 42 volts. Just with one of the panels, it's 21 volts. Something else that's very, very cool, you have 2 of these little boxes, one in the big pouch and one on the other side. That gives you access with the MC4 connections. But also take a look right under here. You've actually got a direct USB-C, a quick charge USB type A, and a standard slow charge type A. So you can actually hook your electronics directly up to the solar panel if you so desired, and not even need a power station or anything to recharge them. I am way excited about this. This is the SolexBrick S1. And basically it's a little miniature MPPT charge controller as well as solar panel optimizer. So first thing, we've got some documentation here, and you can see it's capable of mounting to a solar panel frame. And then it can charge a battery directly, 12 or 24 volt battery according to this. If it's a 12 volt battery, you need to be sure your solar panel produces at least 18 to 50 volts open circuit. And if you're going to try to charge a 24 volt battery, you need to have a VOC of at least 36 to 50. And they can work in parallel, which is pretty cool. And then you also have the option of connecting them up in series, and that will charge 12, 24, or 48 volt batteries. The max number that you can connect in series is just 3, so bear that in mind. And just so you can see the specs here, it is rated for 50 amps, 10 to 50 volts VOC. That shouldn't be too big of a problem because you're only going to be connecting basically one panel to each of these. You can connect up to 450 watts to each of the bricks. It does have 12 gauge wire. It's got a pretty high efficiency rating. And then it's only going to charge directly to lithium iron phosphate battery. It's rated for IP68. On the output side, take note that that is larger. That's 8 gauge cable instead of 12 gauge on the input of the solar panel side. And it's going to automatically detect the voltage of the battery. And they do recommend fusing the lines, so be aware of that. Here's the SolexBrick S1 itself. So you might be able to see that this cable is smaller than this. All of its connections are MC4. Then we get a small box of goodies, and they send you some mounting hardware, the mounting bracket, and a really sweet disconnect tool. Okay, I've got the 2 OptiSolex solar panel products, the glass rigid 200 watt panel right here, the 440 watt solar bag. So this thing is no joke. This is so awesome. First, what I like to do is open up this pouch right here and just get this cord out and deploy it like so. And there's these little clips right here. I'm going to open that up. And then I like, before I fully unfold it, I like to kind of stand up like this. There's this other little bag right here, and that gives us access to the other cable for the other panel, because it's basically two 200-watt panels together. And we're going to hook these up in series, like this. Next, I'm going to get my solar cable that came with my power station, and we'll just connect this up, again, while it's quick and easy to access. Just like that. Gonna throw that down there. Go ahead and lay this down. There we go, 440 watts deployed. Now take a look at how long my shadow is. The sun is way down in the horizon because we're only 1 month away from winter solstice where I live. So we do not have a very optimal angle. There are some loops right here, okay, that you could use to hang the panel up. But for today's testing, I'm going to do it laying down. Here, let's test the rigid panel first, just on its own. So with the rigid panel plugged in here, suboptimal angle as well as limited sunlight because it's close to winter solstice, we're at 85 watts coming into this Anker F2000 power station. Let's switch to the solar blanket. Okay, now I've got the solar blanket plugged in. This one for that is disconnected. And again, subpar conditions, 200-ish watts, just over 200 watts. I think I discovered a limitation on this because these are MPPTs already, and it did also say nothing in the instruction manual about hooking this up to a power station. So, got to insert that here. But it looks like I've got too many MPPTs in a row. I think these are looking for some kind of voltage to adjust themselves to, like some kind of battery. Because if you look here, we've got everything plugged in, but I'm getting absolutely zero power coming into this. Okay, fast forward a day or two here, and I've gotten some new information from OptiSolex. When you first connect this up, between 0 and 3 minutes from hooking things up, these solar bricks, they go through a period of optimization, and they detect the voltage of your battery and do some MPPT tracking and whatnot. So you need to let this sit for about 5 minutes before you get your full output, because it uses like the first 3 minutes to get everything in order, and then the next 1 to 2 minutes after that to get, all fired up and whatnot. Now, again, I am not in optimal conditions. I need to emphasize that. See how long my shadow is? And it's almost noon. And that's because I'm only a month away from winter solstice. So I am not getting very direct sunlight with the panels laying horizontally. Less than ideal conditions right now. So I'm not going to get nearly the rated output or even close to the rated output on these. Okay, so bear that in mind. The other thing I need to emphasize is be sure and just pay close attention on the SolexBrick to make sure that you plug the right cables in to the right things. Be sure and plug the PV wires, the smaller ones, into the solar panels. And then be sure that the thicker DC cables are the ones plugging in together with each other and feeding the battery here with these heavy-duty 8-gauge cables that are included. These parallel connectors that I'm running right now are my own because I want to hook these up in parallel to charge my 12-volt battery. The other thing I just want to comment on with these is these are pretty much idiot-proof. You can easily connect these up. Simple wiring and whatnot. There's no programming or anything because they are going to just automatically detect the voltage of your battery and start charging. And then you really can't beat the size of these things. These are itty bitty. That makes a super clean installation, especially if you were to mount them to the solar panel, like this rigid one here, so that it's actually behind the solar panel. So it's been plugged in now for a little over 5 minutes. So look at that, we're over 150, there's almost 160 watts right there going into that battery. Now sub 200 watts with a 440 watt panel plus another 200 watt panel is pretty abysmal, but that is because, again, I've got less than ideal solar conditions at this point. I do have a basically cloudless day, but the sun is way over there in the horizon, and my panels are laying flat. So not going to get as much production. And just a quick update here, guys. The solar panels have sat for a little longer, and the Solex bricks are finding their stride even more, because look at that, 174, 167. So they take a minute to kind of get into the groove and ramp up, but they do work exceptionally well. Okay, just because of how terrible the winter sun is right now, I've added actually one more panel next to this 200 watt one. So that way we've kind of got 200, 200, 200, 200. If we step into the shade here, you can see we're vacillating between 245, 240, somewhere right in there. Almost 18 amps of current going into that battery. So the S1 bricks are working. It's just abysmal performance right now due to the time of year and the quality of sunlight I'm experiencing. And I'm already starting to get some shadow creep over here on this panel, but we're, what, 240-ish watts with leaves and stuff blowing around. Let me cast a shadow over here on this panel, and you'll see we're still getting over 200 watts of power going into that battery. And that's the power of these bricks here. They make your panels in the rest of your array basically immune to any kind of shading that is happening. Let's do the same thing with this big panel over here. Let's shade half of it here, okay? Well, check it out. We're still producing and sending 200 watts to that battery over there. It's not, over 200. If I clear the shadow here, you'll see that we jump up, to 245, somewhere right in there, 230. It, adjusts and tracks. If I were to cast a shadow across, let's see if I can do this. So I've got a shadow cast across just about the entire thing here, bridging the two 220 watt panels in the solar bag. And again, we got leaves and shadows and all kinds of stuff going. But look at that, we're still pulling almost 200 watts, 191 watts from the panel that is either partially unshaded or both of those that are almost 100% unshaded. However, that corner right there is starting to get a shadow creep from a tree. And so that's the power of the SolexBrick S1. It makes partial shading on any of your panels null and void, and it also makes mixing and matching panels like I've done here also basically null and void, because they will take the individual characteristics of the panels that they're connected to and optimize it so that you get the maximum power regardless of what types of panels you're using and what kind of shading is happening. And that's going to be really powerful for, say, an RV where you've got partial shading probably happening across the board no matter what. You've got your big air conditioner sticking up on there, and you're going to cast the shadow onto half a panel. One end of the RV's under a tree, the other one's out in full sun. Well, the days of that, shade dragging down your entire array on your roof are gone. Just slap these Solex bricks on each of those panels, and now you've got panel level optimization that just happens on its own. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to monitor it, you don't have to do nothing. It just optimizes and makes it awesome. Now you do need sufficient voltage to make it work, as we saw here. I needed to add one bonus panel to this one here just to give it a little more oomph with my terrible sunlight quality right now. But you can kind of see the proof of concept and how powerful this kind of setup could be. There's a series of USB charging ports. So let's just see if I plug cable in here, open it up, and let's see if it charges my phone. I don't know if you can see, but the battery turned green there, so it's charging. This is way overkill for a little teeny cell phone, but very cool that it has, just those built-in measures so you can take advantage of the power that way directly without, power stations or anything. Just go direct to device if you want. And then cleanup on this bag is just super easy. Just come over here, fold that up, fold that up. Once again, just kind of flip it over and make it so it stands up on its own. Unzip there. Throw the cable in. Unzip this one. Throw the cable in. Fold it up. Clip it. Clip it. And we're done. So leave me your comments on what you think of this. What use cases do you see that it would be beneficial for? I always say the smartest people are down in my comments, so let me know your thoughts. And then can I just say how much I love this solar bag. This thing is definitely coming camping with me. It is so easy to deploy and just get a huge amount of power in a very small, compact package. Just in this short period of time that I've had it, and I've needed solar panels for one thing or another, this has been my go-to before anything else. Anyway, I'll leave links to everything you saw in this video, the solar bag, the SolexBrick S1, the rigid 200-watt solar panels. OptiSolex can set you up with all of that, no problem. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hype. The 5 free things that make a tremendous difference to the channel. For some reason, YouTube needs that to help it push the video out to people. So if you'd humor me by doing those things for me, I would really, really appreciate it. We've always got more epic stuff in the pipeline, so stay tuned, and we'll catch y'all next time.